Alright, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you for joining me on another first ride today. Today, we got the 2019 Yamaha XSR700. So first off, I want to thank my buddy Nate here up at Westside Motorsports. If you guys got any questions, come on out here. Say hi to my friend Charlie, say hi to my friend Nate. They'll hook you up. So let's get started on this. Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, right?
Heck yeah, thank you. Alright, so today, this is going to feel a little more comfortable. I've ridden a lot of these, like an MT07, the MT09. I've ridden them before. I've actually ridden an XSR700, and I've had mixed feelings about it. So we'll see how this one feels. I have not ridden the XSR700. I really like it because you would think, coming from a bike with this retro styling, the sound of an MT07 makes more sense. It just makes more sense to me. It just looks like a bike that should have a thumper in it, like a two-cylinder, you know, parallel twin and stuff like that. That's what you would think. So let's see how this thing rides. I've ridden MT07, so I do have some prior knowledge on these bikes. So let's take her out, see what's going down. First off, it's freaking quiet. So quiet. I'm used to FZs being so dang loud. Oh my goodness, it's so quiet. Oh, but you can hear that. You can hear that parallel twin thumping in there. So, this is the XSR700. It's a step up from the MT07, from your MT07, just as it just looks like they put a little more time into it, a little more like quality, honestly. It's kind of hard to explain, but like when I get off, when you guys see the cinematics as I showed you, as I will show you in the beginning of the video, you'll see like this aluminum tank shroud and everything, man. It just looks like they spent more time with it. It just looks like everything was more thought out, more thought out, just better designed. Because first thing we do on our FZs was strip them down, making exactly how we want them, put aftermarket parts on them. But something like this just maybe needs a couple things to like make it your own, like some blinkers that don't stick out 1.5 miles. I haven't had, you know, more than a second to ride it, but these don't need much. Definitely an exhaust just to liven this thing up. Oh, you can tell it's still an FZ. That front wheel just popped right up. Heck yes, that feels so good. So, like I said, I've ridden an XSR700, I've ridden an MT07, I own an MT09. And first thing I noticed, it does have the same feel, like my legs aren't as, they're not very bent, like it's more of a comfortable touring position rather than a sporty position like a sport bike, or even, it's not even as sporty as the FZ series. So my legs are nice and comfortable, they're not stretched out, they're not super scrunched up, it just feels good. I noticed when I put my foot down that like usual, being someone my height, I'm about 5 foot 8 inches tall, that I put one foot down and I could easily flat foot it with I usually put my right foot down and then just hold my right hand on the front brake, so in case I move forward or backwards, I'm not going anywhere. And I have my other foot on the shifter. You could ride this bike with just about any height. I don't think you'd have an issue on it. The clutch is very touchy. It's like on-off clutch. So, second thing I noticed from riding my FZ or an MT07, I feel like I'm a lot higher. I feel like the seat's a little higher, but coming from where I stand, like if I put my foot down, it doesn't feel higher. I just feel like I'm higher on the bike for some reason. And I can't tell where to shift because I can't hear the damn bike because it's so quiet with the stock exhaust. Don't you pull out. Don't you pull out, I swear to God. Alright, let's test these brakes. I know this thing has ABS. Holy crap. I kicked the snot out of that thing. Okay, yeah, definitely has ABS. I'm feeling these brakes just like I rode a Z900 recently and I noticed the brakes were like non-existent, but I feel like I just need to give it a little time. It only has 4 miles on it, so they're brand new brakes. I am the first person to obviously ride this bike, So the brakes just need a little bit to, you know, warm up to get, you know, the actual brake feel. They're brand new. Just like tires, you need to scrub them in before you actually start riding like an animal, before you take them to the track. You got to scrub them in. Brakes the same way, warm them up. So give it 100 miles, the brakes will probably feel a lot better. But from previous experience on like an XSR7 and my 9, brakes is not their strong suit, definitely. Man, this thing is comfortable though. I just feel so flickable. I'm comfortable. This seat is really comfortable, I'll be honest. And I feel like just a little bit of seat time to really break it in. This will be nice and comfortable. Yeah, there is a lot of wind noise. I'm going 55. There's a lot of wind. Like, there is nothing covering me except this headlight and that's it. That's all that's covering me. And maybe you could get a tiny little windbreaker, you know, like a windshield, but I don't think it would do much. It'd probably just blow right up into you. Still wouldn't go over you. So yeah, if you get one of these, you're gonna have wind noise. It's just how it works. Actually, these mirrors are pretty solid. Even though they're not my style, I would change them, but they're pretty solid for what they are. So I'm gonna drop her down to second gear. Let's start at 30 miles an hour. I'm just gonna gas it and we're gonna see what happens. So see what kind of power she's got. Oh yeah, feels like an FZ. So it's got all that mid-range torque, and then up top it really drops off. There's not a lot up top for the up in you know, that top end pull. But this thing, you know, it's meant for that low RPM mid-range. Up to like 8 grand, she pulls pretty good. After that, you know, you're not gonna have much, as you would expect. Seating position feels like I'm riding a cruiser bike. It's I'm basically, if I take my hands off the handlebar right there, you can see my hands, that is basically sitting straight up. So I have maybe a couple pounds of weight on my wrist, so you might be fatigued after many hours, but it's actually very comfortable to ride on. Like I'd have no problem riding this multiple hours. At least my wrists wouldn't get tired, my arms wouldn't get tired, just because it's comfortable. So this is the ABS model. One thing, I don't know how I feel about the little gauges. I like the XSR7 one because it's big, it has everything you need, and it just fits right there. I feel like they could have stuffed that gauge that's on the XSR7 right here and it would have been fine, but because of what this bike is, it's like that cafe racer style, that neo sport style, they had to do something different. Like the Yamaha Bolt, I'm pretty sure this and that bike share the same dash. It looks nearly identical. So we're gonna stop. This is where I get all my cinematic shots and my videos. So we're gonna stop and we'll be back in just a bit. And I feel like I say this every time I do a first ride, every time I do the cinematics, but these truly are way different bikes when they're not in the showroom. Yeah, the showroom makes them look good, but out in natural light they look real nice. This is a good looking bike. I'm gonna start off with what I think this bike needs. I think it's already a really pretty bike. Stock, there's not a lot to do with it. But you know how people do like the CB750 builds, like the cafe racer style builds? If this thing had just a few different little things, like, honestly, I've seen brake lights on CB750s that kind of just wrap around the frame right here, just tiny little, like an LED strip. Take the whole fender off, take the light off, and integrate like the turn signals into there. Toss the plate under here somehow, possibly. Just have a nice clean tail without that. Different handlebars, just lower, kind of more sportier. Just for looks, obviously. Take away the blinkers, new exhaust. This thing would be, ooh, it'd be so good. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back on the bike. Okay, so I'm in really tight, like these are pretty tight for riding pants, but with both feet down, I'm like I said, I'm 5'8". I can tiptoe, not tiptoe like as I'm like reaching, but I can nearly flat foot. I think maybe in different jeans it'd be a little closer, but definitely I just put one foot up like that. If you can see that, one foot up, one foot down, that's more than enough. I have no problems being able to maneuver this bike around. So Oh, sounds so good. So yeah, like I was saying, just different handlebars. I don't know, I feel like I say that on every bike, just to make it more your style. I think one thing that can completely change the feel of your bike is different handlebars. Yes, you can make it sound different, make it look different, but the actual, like, a changing of the bar height, and the bar, how forward it is or backward it is, can really change how your bike feels. So if this bike isn't completely, like, you're like not sold as soon as you ride it, imagine just like a little sportier feel, sportier look. Oh, this thing would be nasty. So I always do this. I always test, see if what the turning radius would be like on these things. Holy moly, this thing's so easy to turn. Oh baby, the turning radius is unreal on these new bikes. My FZ, not even close. Let's get back on the street, see what we can do. Let's not get in trouble though. So yeah, as I was saying earlier, the brakes, I've already noticed since I have just ridden this thing 8 miles, they already feel so much better. So much better. Like, honestly, better, way better than the stock feelings of my XSR700. The stock ones were so bad. These are 10 times better, way more grabbier. The rear one is really good. Like, surprising, like, honestly, really solid rear brake. Even though it's just the standard Nissan caliper and rotor. The front brake probably just needs a little more warming up, but the rear brake is really good so far. That's actually kind of shocking. She still hauls. She still will haul the mail. She's gonna deliver. Is that a cop too? Oh my goodness, please don't. I don't think so, but it looks like it. One thing I noticed about this throttle, I feel like it doesn't feel really linear to like how I'm moving my hand. Like, no joke, I twist the throttle, nothing, like from 0 to like a quarter throttle, feel like nothing, and then after that it just kind of pulls. I don't know, it feels weird. It doesn't feel quite natural to me. It almost feels like just completely electronic throttle. I don't know if I feel about that. Alright, so now we're gonna hop on the highway, see how this guy does on the highway. Like I said, no windscreen, nothing to protect me basically, so let's see how this thing does. Oh, this thing needs an exhaust so bad. That rear wheel wanted to come up, shifting into third. Oh yeah, she would. Oh yeah, this thing would come up, clutch up right away in third. This throttle is weird. Feel like, look at that. That's nothing. On, off, on, off. It's jumpy. That's not me. I'm not jerking the throttle. That's just like a slight throttle. And it just wants to pull me, kind of like the XSR9 was. I don't remember the XSR7 being like that, because my friends' XSR7s definitely don't feel like that. There is no smoothness to that throttle at all. Yeah, once you're on it, it's fine, and like I said earlier, from anything between 10 and 20% throttle, feels like you're just like basically idle. Then after 20%, it just kind of takes off. It's a very interesting feel. I don't know what to think about that. But other than that, I don't know, maybe you could fix that with a tune, with an ECU flash, because my friends' XSR7s don't feel like that at all. Maybe that could be fixed with that. But this feels interesting, this throttle. So we're gonna hop on the freeway in just a second and see how she feels. But like, holy crap, wow. This thing feels so light and so nimble. I'm not sure how much this weighs. I'll bet it weighs just in XSR7 territory, around 410. I'm guessing because a lot more aluminum, a lot more, it's got more of an industrial look. I'll bet it weighs about 420 or 430. That's just a wild guess. but it sure doesn't feel like it. And this seat is dang comfortable. I think it'd be so cool to have one of these XSR seats on the FZ09. I've definitely thought about looking into different seats, but yeah, we're hopping on the freeway. All right, first gear. That pulls, third gear. I feel like third gear pulls so much harder than first and second gear. That was weird. It just took off in first and second. I mean, it took off in third gear, and then first gear and second gear kind of just felt super just like in your face. Like the gears weren't very long. Oh yeah. So on the freeway now, just cruising in sixth gear. Uphill, definitely uphill. And the thing has no problem, sixth gear. She hasn't got as much as you would expect, but just getting on and off throttle, she'll pass cars, and if you just need to, downshift once, and she'll pull, or maybe even twice, definitely. Fourth gear, yeah. If you're in fourth gear, it's got that passing power. Same with fifth gear a little bit, but she's not gonna have that fifth and sixth gear response that you'd expect out of like a higher CC bike with you know, higher RPM range. See, that's full throttle in sixth gear. We're not really going anywhere. Yep, like I said before, a lot of wind noise, but that is to be expected. Alright, so I want to thank my friends again up at Westside Motorsports. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed the video, please come check out Westside Motorsports. Tell me what you thought down in the description. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I need a new glove, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!